You have ISIS talking about making Jerusalem the capital of its caliphate. How does Jerusalem loom large in the minds of radical Islamists?
Well, they say it out loud, they don't even hide, that they should establish an Islamic caliphate all over the Arab and the Islamic world is a preamble to Islamic caliphate all over the world, and its capital should be Jerusalem. That's what they claim, that Jerusalem should be the capital of the Islamic caliphate. We heard it in Egypt, we heard it in many other places. Usually preachers who think like the Muslim Brotherhood and the Muslim Brotherhood derivatives, which is Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State.
It all comes out of the Brotherhood.
All come
They're the granddaddy.
from the hothouse of the Muslim Brotherhood ideology. And they say it out loud. They don't even try to hide it. And yes, this is what they claim, that Jerusalem should be the capital of the Islamic Caliphate.
As people of faith, maybe in the United States watching this show, a Christian, a Jew, why should they care about this delegitimization of Jerusalem as the capital of the Jewish people and the Islamicizing, if that's a word, of Jerusalem? Why should people care about this?
Look, it's the theory of circles. Jerusalem is the inner circle. When Jerusalem will fall into their hands, Israel will be the next circle.
Yeah.
When Israel falls, the waves will go to Europe, and after Europe falls into their hands, the Atlantic will be found as not wide enough to keep America away from these waves as well. Because the encouragement which they will have from the fall of Jerusalem into their hands, whether by the United Nations, the United will give them, or the world will press Israel to give them Jerusalem, they will be so encouraged that they can take the whole world. And because this is, and this will be the, I would say, the pinnacle, where the world will succeed or not to stand in front of the wave of Islamism, which will be encouraged if, God forbid, Israel is forced by the Western world mainly to give up on Jerusalem, its ancient capital.
And it's such a sad thing because Israel is the first line of defense for Western civilization and is really all that's holding back the wolves of jihad from coming to the West.
Israel is the front bastion of the West against the waves which are motivated by the hatred to the West. Because the West is permissive, the West is valueless, the West is materialistic, and this is why the West should be toppled. Israel is the first bastion. If Israel survives and sustains against this wave of Islamism, Europe, America are protected. Much better than if Israel collapses, because the collapse of Israel will encourage them to continue and fast.
And how frustrating and short-sighted is it that the West, European and American leaders, are pressuring Israel to divide Jerusalem. As an Israeli, that must frustrate you, and a student of history, that must frustrate you a great deal.
Look, the Al-Aqsa, which appears in the Quran, Jerusalem doesn't appear in the Quran, but the Al-Aqsa appears. Originally, Al-Aqsa was between Mecca and Taif, inside Saudi Arabia today, in the Arab Peninsula. They imported the Al-Aqsa to Jerusalem 50 years later in 682 in order to convince the people, the Muslims, to come to pilgrimage to Jerusalem and not go to Mecca to hear the propaganda against the caliph in Damascus. This is the whole story of Jerusalem in Islam. It is a concoction, and today they consider it as some kind of a basic belief in Islam only because they believe that Islam came to the world to replace Judaism. And if Jews come back to Jerusalem, it means that Judaism is alive and kicking. What will be with Islam? Who originally, according to its own presentation, came to the world to turn Judaism into null and void.
Well, they have failed in their plans because Jerusalem is alive and kicking, Israel is alive and kicking, and Dr. Kedar, we're so grateful that we have you to lay it all out for us, the truth about this city, Jerusalem. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
much. It's great to have you with us. Thank you.